Have you ever stopped to think that holding on to anger might not just hurt your soul, but could actually open a door to dark forces beyond your understanding? As we age, life's trials often leave scars, grudges from broken relationships, bitterness from betrayals, or even the lingering pain of unspoken words. But what many don't realize is that these emotions are not just personal struggles. They can become spiritual battlegrounds. The Bible warns us in Ephesians 4:26-27, "Be angry, but do not sin, and do not give the devil a foothold." Holding on to resentment creates a hardened heart, a fertile ground for forces that thrive on division and discord. Resentment is not just an emotion. It's a breach in your spiritual armor, leaving you vulnerable to influences that seek to pull you further from God. Think about it. Are you unknowingly allowing unresolved anger to invite darkness into your life? What if the entertainment you enjoy every day is silently shaping your soul, and not for the better? As we grow older, we often look to books, movies, and music for comfort or escape. But have you considered what messages they're planting in your mind? Many forms of entertainment glorify practices and ideas that run directly against God's teachings, occult rituals, idol worship, or even the subtle normalization of sin. The Bible reminds us in Philippians 4:8, "Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, think about such things." Yet, when we indulge in stories or songs that promote darkness, violence, or rebellion, we're opening doors to spiritual influences that may quietly take root. Ask yourself, is what you're watching or listening to feeding your spirit or inviting shadows into your life? Sometimes, what seems harmless can have the most profound effects. Do you know that habits you consider harmless could actually be the chains binding you to forces of darkness? As the years pass, it's easy to fall into patterns, small lies, bursts of envy, or desires we justify as natural. Society often tells us these are normal, even acceptable. But the spiritual reality is stark. Every repeated sin without repentance becomes a foothold for evil. The Bible clearly states in 1 John 3:8, "The one who practices sin is of the devil." Persistent sin without seeking God's forgiveness can transform into a lifestyle, distancing us from His grace and leaving us vulnerable to spiritual attacks. Reflect for a moment. Are there habits in your life that you've grown comfortable with, ignoring the tug of your conscience? Recognize the danger before it's too late. Unrepented sin isn't just a mistake, it's a doorway left wide open. Have you ever felt that pulling away from others might be safer, only to realize you've never felt more alone or more vulnerable? As we age, the temptation to withdraw from people and spiritual practices can grow stronger. Disillusionment, hurt, or even fatigue may push us to abandon church, stop praying, or neglect our connection with God. But this isolation doesn't just leave us lonely, it leaves us exposed. The Bible warns in 1 Peter 5:8, "Be sober-minded and watchful. Your adversary the devil prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour." Lions don't attack the herd, they target the isolated. In the same way, spiritual withdrawal weakens our defenses and makes us easy prey for dark influences. Ask yourself, have you distanced yourself from the people or practices that kept your faith strong? It's time to step back into the light, where God's community can offer strength and protection. Have you ever been tempted by the promise of control, power, or hidden wisdom, only to feel it pulling you further away from peace? The pursuit of forbidden knowledge or power has always fascinated humanity. From ancient myths to modern-day practices like astrology, divination, or secret societies, people are drawn to what seems mysterious and forbidden. But the Bible makes it clear. Such pursuits often lead us away from God and directly into the hands of darkness. In Genesis 3:5, the serpent deceived Eve with the promise, "You will be like God, knowing good and evil." This same lie lures many today, offering power and insight in exchange for spiritual compromise. Yet the cost is always greater than it seems. Pause and reflect. Are you seeking answers or control in places God has warned us to avoid? Remember, not all knowledge is meant to be unlocked. Some doors are better left closed.